Welcome back to Steve's Small Engine Saloon.
Hey everybody, some of you might recognize this little Mantis mini tiller with this Honda GX35 engine on it. I just did a video on this not that long ago on replacing the carburetor on it with a brand new carburetor. If you missed that video, I have a link for you right underneath this video in the description if you want to check that out. Now, the owner of this called me and said, this thing doesn't start. That is bad news to a mechanic. That's what we call a comeback. Comebacks are not good. So of course I was like, oh, bad carb. Maybe I did get a bad carb. So when I originally checked it out, I pressed the purge bulb. And as I was pressing that purge bulb in and out, I realized that the purge bulb was going in okay, but then it was coming out really slowly, like it wasn't pulling the fuel out of the tank. Exactly the same symptoms as if the fuel filter was completely plugged off. That's what it was doing. And of course it wouldn't start. So then I looked really closely and I'll show you what I saw. You take the air filter cover and air filter off, and it's going to make it a lot easier for you to get in here. See where this fuel line runs right here? It runs from the tank and it goes way back like that around the corner, and it gets held in with this little clip thing. It's bent over there, and this is the original fuel line. And it has hardened up over time and it is kinked. Literally kinked in half, like you have a pair of needle nose pliers crimped on there. Of course it's not going to pull fuel. Honda routes that thing back like that so you have room to get in there with your finger and push that purge bulb. That's why they do that, and they don't go over top of the purge bulb. So we got to replace that fuel line, and I can guarantee you that this is going to work. Easy repair. Needle nose pliers, and don't forget to crack that fuel cap in case there's some pressure in there. Crack that fuel cap open a little bit, and if there's pressure in the tank and you pull that fuel line off, of course you're going to get squirted gas all over the place. So crack that cap, easy. Take those clamps off if you have clamps on there. This one only has one. I think I have another one around, though. I'll put another one on when we put the new fuel line on. Get those clamps off, and needle nose pliers, the fuel line just pulls off of there. Both sides, like that. Then you can wiggle that old fuel line out of there. There it is. And that is where it was kinked. It was pushed back into the back of the engine so far, it was literally pinched in half right there. Honda actually even puts this little stabilizer sleeve around the fuel line to keep that, I think they're trying to correct that problem a little bit. Anyway, we're going to put a new fuel line on. I have some Tygon right here. It's the same inside diameter. And we're going to just kind of stretch it out, measure that. If we can, right about there. Side cutters, knife, whatever you want. And that is, wow, that's exactly the same length when I stretch them out. All right, let's go with that. We're going to put that back on. Your little clamps, put those on. And I do have another one around for them. That's the same clamp right there. Some people don't even put these little clamps back on because the barbs on these fittings really hold that line anyway, but we're going to put them on anyway. And let's see how that works. We'll put that line back on like so. By the way, kind of was my fault. I should have changed this fuel line when I was changing the carburetor. I didn't realize that it was going to actually kink solid within a couple weeks. My bad. So that's why this is going to be a free repair. Nice and flexible. I love this Tygon stuff. All right, let's put that in. If you don't want to put it back on like it's when it's around that little bracket thing, you don't have to, but it does actually take that out of the way, so it's out of the way of your finger pushing that purge bulb. Okay, we'll get it back around that little bracket thing that holds it, and that is awesome. I know some of you might be saying right now, well, why didn't you take that little stabilizer sleeve thing off and put it on the new fuel line? The sleeve itself is kinked and hard. So I think that would be actually defeating the purpose. So I'm going to leave it like this. That actually looks super good. I'm going to put those clamps back on. Pretty tight. There we go. And the other one. Sorry, I am definitely taking my time here. Clamps on. And that actually routes back there way better than that original fuel line did. It's not kinked at all. Over time, it'll probably kink again because obviously that old fuel line wasn't kinked when it was brand new, but it's all hard and crunchy now. That's a beautiful thing. How hard was that? Tighten up that gas cap just in case you actually tip it over. And on switch on. Purge this thing. Nice. Oh yeah, that purges like perfectly brand new. I'm going to start this, well, hopefully. Chokes on. Purged, let's see what happens. Well, she starts now. Let that be a lesson to you, more me. If you see something that's questionable like that when you do the original job, just change it because that's like $1 worth of fuel line right there. And it took, I don't even know what that was, 5 minutes. Okay, done. Put your air filter back on, cover back on, and this thing is ready to go. I hope you like that. Little thumbs up button there would be cool if you could do that. And until the next video, Steve out.